And here we are for round number one with Skycrag Rally going up against Malk L. And this hand is interesting. It's got two one-drop creatures or units. It's got Rock Slide and Pummel and Permafrost to kind of keep us at bay. And we're on the play, so we're going to keep it. The Cobalt Monument is a bit awkward, but at the end of the day, I think that this hand should do pretty alright, especially if we're able to hit our third power and find Rally, hopefully. So our opponent appears to be on some sort of Praxis list, so that's maybe good news for us. We're going to A+ space because, again, we only know fighting. We're going to play our Cobalt Monument, and the question here is, do we lead on Pyronite, or lead? Do we follow up with Pyronite or Grenadin Drone? And I think we're going to play Drone. There's not many ways for this deck for Praxis to beat go wide strategies, so we should be pretty alright. Alright, so we know they have a Sigil and, ooh, Blink Wolf. Okay, so something that happens a lot in Masters is people will play kind of decks that they're trying out, and I think that what Malk L is trying to do here is play the Warp deck, because there is a 5-power relic that makes all Warp costs, or Warp cards cost 2 less if they're in your deck, which is why they're playing a Warp 2-1. Unfortunately for them, our deck is pretty well good. Might be pretty good against this type of jank. So we're going to A+ space, and if they block, which they did not, I was going to pummel here, but I think we're just going to fight, because I'm not scared of a 2-1 warp. There are some cards that I would be afraid of. We're just going to follow up with Rakano Outlaw and say go. So our opponents follow up. They play a power card, which we knew they had one in hand. Are they going to follow up with a Amber Acolyte? That would kind of be expected. No, Journeyman Armorer. Armor is a good card here. Make this into a 3-2. Definitely makes it harder for us to kind of get through now. Kind of makes me wish I'd used this Rock Slide last turn instead of playing the 2-2. So what we're going to do is we only know fighting, so we're going to A+ space. And I don't mind them eating this 1-1, or this 1-1 for that matter, but we are going to pummel this 1-1 so that these two trade. And we see an assembly line, which unfortunately we can't play, so we're going to have to send that to the bottom. And then we're going to trade off a little bit here. And then we will play another Grenadin Drone and say go. Obviously, this would get much better with a rally card, with a rally off the top of some kind. Rally and power. How does our opponent follow up? With Seek Power. Going to hit their 4th power drop. Ooh, Initiate of the Sands even. Follow up after that, Blink Wolf. All right, so this is great. So first up, we're going to play our Diplomatic Seal on fire. And then we're going to Rock Slide these two away. And then I think we're going to go ahead and Permafrost this to try to press our advantage. So get a little 2-for-1 here. Permafrost your 2-2. And A+ space. One thing that we do need to be wary of at some point is that this deck is, if they're a Warp deck, which it seems they are, they're going to be playing Shatterglass Mage. Shatterglass Mage does cost 5. And Mage can get rid of Permafrost. That said, they're playing a Alluring Ember off the top. And a 1-2, which is pretty decent. On our end, though, we drew Champion of Fury. Doesn't have Overwhelm yet, but Champion should be pretty well here. And we're going to A+ space because we want to press in damage. Because sure, they can chump block the Champion. They can eat one of the Grenadin with the Evrax Familiar, which they're going to do, but we get to deal 5 damage. We still have 5 creatures in play to their 1 that can block, plus we get to play Pyronite here, and we get to say go. And we're presenting lethal. And sure, while our deck is unexciting, well, 2 6s are pretty good. Not good against our board right now, unfortunately. So yeah, that's going to call it there. But that's a really sweet deck from Malk L, and hopefully they can do something really cool with it later. Also, you'll notice that this happened after the patch, which is why we're getting the the Primal and Fire experience. But anyways, on to the next game. Hey everybody, and welcome to round number 2 with Skycrag Rally up against Stobor. Both of us are in Masters, which is, fun. This hand looks fine. It's got both of our monuments, which we don't want. It does have turn 1 Yeti, and we're on the play, but this hand is so slow. We're gonna see if we can do a better one. And this hand's fine. We do need a second fire source for this Vadius and the Shogun Scepter, but this is fine. Our opponent did not redraw, which is maybe not the best news for us, but we're going to lead on Snowcrest Yeti. Hopefully our opponent has no good answers for this. So our opponent is on Xenon somethings? We'll see. We're going to play this Fire Sigil, and we're going to attack, and we're also going to pummel, because we want to find another source, which, congratulations, we did. We're going to put this banner on top and fight. That way we have not only power to play Vadius, but also to get the full value out of our Champions of Fury. They're going to play Temple Scribe, which is annoying, but not unstoppable. We're not going to torch this because I think we're going to play Shogun Scepter this turn to help deal a little extra damage. And we're going to punch on through here. They shouldn't be they probably won't block. Oh, they decided to block. That's cool. I wonder what their next play is going to be. If they play Dawnwalker, I'll be very happy because we'll get to permafrost it. Ooh, Blister Sting Wasp into Banner into Nothings. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and torch the Wasp, and then A plus space. This deck, again, only knows fighting, so this is going to hopefully end up well for us, and we'll say go. What's your follow-up, Stobor? Is this a Darude? A Darude would be not great for us. Although a Darude would definitely be within the... Yep, there he is, Sandstorm Titan himself. All right. Draw 5-4 Oni Ronin. That's pretty good for us. We're going to attack with this Yeti and anticipating of needing to torch this Sandstorm Titan. We're not going to attack with the Oni Ronin. I would if we were playing Stone Scar, because then we'd have access to Rapid Shot, and Rapid Shot would trade cleanly for Sandstorm Titan. But yeah, we're just going to go ahead and torch it. And then here's a big ol' Oni Ronin. Say go. What's our opponent's turn 5 looking like? Vara's Favor, an excellent card out of Shadow decks for opposing aggro decks. And then Banish. That's not good for us. Happen to have two really good answers back to back. We're going to go ahead and play Vadius here. Use all of our power. We could play this Rakano Outlaw, but Vadius and Rakano Outlaw will attack through the same units, and then our Permafrost doesn't do much here. Ooh. Waystone Infuser, a good card here. Gives all their power cards warp so they can just play them off the top. We will Permafrost this, even though it kind of stinks to have this sitting around where they can essentially draw free cards. Then we'll play our Primal Sigil, and there's no value in holding Rakano Outlaw in hand. They don't play many Wraths, and the one that they do have access to is not commonly played. And here's Stewie, who's really, really good. 3/5 deadly silence. The silence part's not relevant for us. Well, okay, I lied. It is relevant for Vadius in case he gets a Steelfang Chakram, but we make Steelfang Chakrams very rarely anyways with Vadius. So here we could attack, deal 3, lose one of our units, probably Vadius, and then try to find an answer, but I think we're just going to play Oni Ronin and say go. 3/5 deadly, very good at blocking all of our units. Opponent plays a Time Sigil off the top into Vara's Favor. That's another good play for our opponent. I'm kind of surprised they aren't using these favors to pop the Aegis here for Vadius. Now they've got 6 power remaining and 3 cards in hand. There's a lot of things that they could be representing. They could be representing like a Death Strike of some kind. So we're just going to go ahead and A plus space. This line does not play around depending on how they block. Okay, they blocked Vadius. That's good for us. We're going to Rock Slide Stewie here so that Vadius will eat Stewie, and then we'll say go. That line would not have worked if they had blocked, say, the Rakano Outlaw instead, in case they had like a Death Strike or something in hand, or a Banish, as they just showed us. Ooh, Azendil's Gift, which doesn't do much for us. I think we're going to be playing whatever we find anyways. So A plus space. Azendil's Gift, much better against the controlling or mid-range decks in Eternal. And then here's Oni Ronin. Good luck Vars choosing this Oni Ronin opponent. Oh, they just play another Stewie. That's fine too. Alright, so they don't have a power card on top, which is why they played it from their hand. So we can attack, put our opponent to 4, and then play this Vadius. That seems actually fine. This way, we're pushing through extra damage, and they would need to have something like a Banish here. Oh, they have Scorpion Wasp. All right, that's pretty good for our opponent. All right, so we lose 2 units. They only take 3. Wanted them to take more, but here is another Vadius. Wasn't thinking about Scorpion Wasp, one of the better cards for limited. All right, so they play a power. They seek power for a power card in hand, and we draw Assembly Line. So we can attack again. They're going to eat our 4/3 Vadius. Then they'll take 3, go to 4, and then we can have a bunch of 1/1s. Or we can just have a bunch of 1/1s and next turn put them to 1. We'll just do this line. It's a little bit more conservative, but if we draw a rally off the top, this line is going to kill them pretty quickly. Or another assembly line is also fine. Here we are going to A plus space. This is their forced block, because otherwise they're dead. And again, I'm not worried too much about any sort of sweeper effect, so we're going to play this other assembly line just in case they have something that surprises us. Opponent has Vara's Favor again. Get them up to 2, find another power card, and has nothing. Once again, Skycrag Rally does its job. And let's see how game 3 goes. And here we are for round number 3 against Pizza Roll Man. I like this guy's username, or this gal's username. I don't know who they are. We're on the draw, which is not where we really want to be, but this hand has a bunch of units in it, so unless we're playing against a Lightning Storm deck, this is a fine hand. All right, how's our opponent lead? They're on Stone Scar. Ooh, they might be okay. So there's 2 decks that are Stone Scar that play Slumbering Stone. They are either the Bloodright Kalis deck, or they are the Sir Rhino Means to an End deck. What's our lead going to be? Fire Sigil into Pyro Knight. Because when you're playing Skycrag Rally, you only know fighting. There's no other choice. All right, Combust, also a staple of the Skycrag Rally deck, or not the Skycrag Rally deck, of both Kalis or Means to an End, so no real information gained there. Now we're going to use this Diplomatic Seal to get Primal, because we do have 1 card that cares about double Primal. And while the question now is, do I want to go ahead and Rock Slide the 2/2? I think we're just going to play Grenadine Drone and say go. It's possible that in a race that they're going to be better. Plus, if they're the Means to an End deck, ooh, they did nothing. That's interesting. We're just going to play Assembly Line and say go. If they are the Kalis deck, they probably would have wanted to play their own Assembly Line here. They're not going to want to play a Naked Kalis. Sporefolk. Okay, so this is definitely the Means to an End deck. Let's see what they mill. All right, so they have milled Sporefolk, Shadow Sigil, Fire Sigil, Dark Wisp, and Quarry. So yeah, I think that it doesn't have any other big signifiers, but Sporefolk is not played in Kalis. Sporefolk is played in this in the Means to an End deck that Sir Rhino made. So we're gonna play this Primal Sigil. Now, I think I just want to play another assembly line here and hold up Torch. We could Rock Slide these away and trade 2 of our Grenadine as well as Rock Slide for this. But we're only dealing 3 damage, so That is unexciting. We'll just play assembly line and say go. Hold up our torch in case we see something too scary. If this is the means to an end deck, they have not found a Vara yet, which is very important for their strategy. There's a Thorn Beast. I will say Thorn Beast is not a usual suspect in that list, so they could be on something completely different. That said, I would expect some sort of like Vara shenanigans to be going on here. We'll play our Primal Sigil, and I think now I'm fine with, A plus space, use Rock Slide to trade 2 of our Grenadin for these two chumps. And then we get to play Snowcrest Yeti after that and leave up Torch, so hopefully we find a rally on the top within maybe a turn or so, because otherwise this may not go over very well. See what our opponent found. Umbran Reaper. All right, this card is really good. It's a 5/1 flyer that when it dies, basically I take 5 and they gain 5. But it trades for any of our units, so I don't want to torch it. Sure, they're going to gain 5, but I don't care too much about that. I'd rather this not be in play, even though it does cost 4 in this case. They're going to trade for our Snowcrest Yeti. This is fine. All right, so now I'm unsure, because I don't remember seeing Umbran Reaper in Sir Rhino's lists for the means to an end deck. We'll play this Fire Sigil and pass. We do care about getting to 7 for Vadius, even though we really don't want to. Here's a Dark Wisp. So they're going to combust it to kill a Grenadin, which is honestly pretty good for us. Sure, they draw a card, but if they're using removal for our Grenadin, we're pretty happy. All right, start our turn. Found an Oni Ronin. Well, this is not very exciting, but we're going to A plus space. Play out our Oni Ronin and say go. Well, let's see what we've got next. There it is. All right, so they are playing Lifesteal Tyrant. Lifesteal Tyrant is the dead giveaway for this means to an end deck. And unfortunately, we don't have any good answers outside of Permafrost, which we're going to need to find soon. We'll play Snowcrest Yeti and say go here because we don't want them gaining 6 life. So they're going to quarry here. Hopefully they don't find what they're looking for. If they do attack, I'm going to block with Yeti and Grenadin and use Torch on the Infernal Tyrant just to get it out of there. All right, here's a Spore Folk. Let's see what they mill. They milled a Vara, and that's it. A bunch of power and a Vara. So if they have Grasping at Shadows in hand, that's going to be bad for us. But we're going to go ahead and start our turn. There's Vadius. Kind of late, though, so we'll play Vadius and say go. We can attack with Vadius, though, especially if we draw a power so that we can ultimate. All right, so here's Grasping at Shadows. So here's what we're talking about. So they're going to Grasping at Shadows Vara to play her from the void. And then when she comes into play, whenever they play a shadow unit, play an additional one from their void. So they're gonna bring back Umbran Reaper, which is annoying. We draw Shogun's Scepter, which is kind of helpful here. We can put Scepter on Vadius and attack. Unfortunately, they're probably just going to block with something like Vara or Infernal Tyrant, but I think that's our best line here. If they can block with Umbran Reaper as well, but okay, so they blocked with Infernal Tyrant, which is what we wanted. We're going to torch it and use how Quick Draw works to get rid of it. And we'll say go. The bad news is it's very likely that they're going to play a shadow unit here. Yep, Infernal Tyrant. So they're going to gain 6, and then they're going to gain more based on how that works, and they're at 29, and then we take 5 to 15. Well, that didn't go over how we wanted it to. Now we can't attack with Vadius because they have good blocks. We're going to play our Rakano Outlaw and say go. We just need to find a rally at some point so that we can do something here. All right, so they're going to play probably the Umbran Reaper, or they're going to play the Spore Folk, one of the two. They're going to play Umbran Reaper. And then get back. Oh, they had a third Infernal Tyrant? Oh, I missed that. Well, that's not good for us. Yeah, instead of using means to an end, they're just straight up comboing on us. This isn't good for us. Do they have another shadow unit? Do they have a means to an end? They're at 47. All of our work has been for naught. And they really want these Infernal Tyrants dead. Vara's favor on the Oni Ronin, that's fine. So they find a Shadow Sigil. Follow-up opponent. Oh, attacks. This is not good. Yeah, this is... Are talking with Vara too. Okay, so how do we want to deal with this? I think we need to... Oh boy. We need to get Vara off the board because she's the most important card right now for our opponent. Ignoring the life gain because they're at 48. All of our work's not. We're probably not winning this game. So how can we get rid of Vara and hopefully the rest of these? So let's put Oni Ronin, Snowcrest Yeti, and these two on Vara. We'll put Outlaw here, here, and here. Put Vadius here, and then use Torch there. It unfortunately wipes our board, and it gets rid of Vara for them. Granted, they gain roughly 1,000,000 life, which is equally bad. And we're at 4 and they're at 66. And we draw literal nothings. And we'll give our opponent the satisfaction of killing us again. Not that we were going to win this game anyways, but this deck's fun, I guess. Well, that game did not go the way we wanted it to, but we'll see how next game goes. And here we are for round number 4 with Skycrag Rally against the Sizzla. This hand's actually pretty good. We have double fire, we have double primal, we have turn 1 Oni Ronin. We're on the draw, but we can't stop most of that. We would like to draw a 2-drop this upcoming turn, or maybe next turn, instead of just having a bunch of 3s in hand. Our opponent leads on Grenadin Drone, which is not good for us. We're still going to lead on Oni Ronin, because we only know fighting. So we know they're on some sort of fire aggro deck, and appears they're going to be on Stone Scar. Well, we're not going to block. So what's their follow-up? Lurking Sanguinar. Okay, so they are on Stone Scar Rally Queen, which is, as you can see, mono 1 drops and then just, random free 5/5 or 4/2 life steals. Unfortunately, we don't have a follow-up, and I think that their start was much better than our start, which is a bit unfortunate for us, but this is a deck that I've played, and it is very good. So I'm going to trade this Oni Ronin off for something. The big question is what? The safe play is to trade it off for the Sanguar because it deals the most damage. But we're going to get blown out if they follow up with Shadowlands Guide because Lurking Sanguar's ability works when it's in the void. So we're going to take our lumps. We're going to take 6, gain 4. Oh, no, they just have Rapid Shot. That's also bad. I mean, Rapid Shot would just be bad regardless of where we blocked. But them gaining 8 almost exclusively seals this. We'll play Seat of Fury into Sinsari Brigand because we're not going to go down without a fight. We're probably dead. We're probably very dead. Yeah, let's see what their follow-up is. If they're stuck on 2, this might end up pretty good for us. No follow-up. Okay, so no follow-up's probably the best news for us. We're going to have to play this Vadius and say go, which is bad. Especially if they have like a torch or something, which it seems that they do. Or if they don't have a torch, they have something like a Rapid Shot in hand. Again, they are going to attack with all. I think I'm going to go ahead and block here and here. Well, I don't want to lose Vadius is the problem. We can block here and here. take 4, go to 3, and we're still dead to torch. Yeah, let's try this. Oh, they have nothing? They just have the stone nothings? In that case, let's not lose our Sensari Brigand and torch the 4-2. Okay, they do have something. They just didn't want to do anything. Alright, so what's your follow-up? Do you have a torch as well? Or do you have a rapid shot? They also have a torch. And, yep, torch goes face, and we lose. Sometimes your opponent's broken aggro starts are better than your broken aggro starts. Or in our case, our very middling aggro start. Well, in any case, we'll see how round 5 goes. Here we are for round number 5 against Innkeeper. They're going first, and our hand is fine, actually. We get to lead on Pyronite and Pyronite. Then we have Vadius and Assembly Line as our turn 3 plays. So this is good. Ideally, we would want this hand on the play, not the draw, but we'll see what they're on. Shadow Sigil into Nothings, drawing Torch, always an approved strategy. We'll lead on Seat of Fury and Pyronite. And we'll see what our opponent's trying to do. They could have Vara's favor us. That'd be bad. Yeah, there it is. Vara's favor. Like as advertised. So any Stone Scar deck is going to be playing this, whether they're being aggressive or controlling. So we're going to play Diplomatic Seal on Primal, and then we will still play Pyronite and say go, holding up this torch. They could have another Vara's favor, which would be sad, but okay, they have Quarry. Well, we know that they have a power card in hand, specifically a Shadow Sigil. Ooh, nailed a Death. Didn't draw Death Strike. Oh, they're going to suffocate. That's fine. So since they have all this removal, this leads me to believe that they're on some sort of control deck. We're going to go and just say start our turn. We'll play Fire Sigil and we'll play Vadius. Vadius is a bigger threat. Requires 2 removal spells to get rid of. Maybe we'll get more information. All right, Vara's favor to pop the Aegis is fine. Into Torch. Okay, sure. If they just want to have all removal spells, that's fine. And yeah, I do not think that they're on an aggro deck of any kind, so we're going to play Assembly Line and say go. I mean, they could surprise us and go Primal Sigil Lightning Storm. All right, we're just going to, do what we do best. We're going to attack with all. We'll play Assembly Line. And greater than Drone. And if we draw a rally, I think they're dead? Question mark? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times 3, yep. Ooh, Life Extract is a good draw for them. Lets them gain 3 life and keep a card on top. A plus space, because, again, all we know is fighting. And we're really begging for a rally off the top. Really want a rally to be sitting here as card 62. We'll play Rakano Outlaw and pass, holding on to Torch and Permafrost. They could have an Annihilate here, and which they have exactly Annihilate. But luckily this deck does really well against decks that try to go 1-for-1 with us. Well, they finally found their second Fire, which could be emblematic of something like an Obliterate, but Obliterate is not good against a weenie strategy like that we're pulling off right now. We'll play Oni Ronin and say go. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is 12. Lifesteal Tyrant. Oh, wait, are they on? They're on the means to an end deck too, I suppose. All right, well, we'll start our turn and we'll stun this. We'll A plus space. And then after combat is over, we'll torch their face. It's a shame that we ran into the what is probably the means to an end deck again, but sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and that's just how it is. Skycrag Rally back in the win column, and since these have been going pretty quick, we'll see how round 6 goes. And here we are for round number 6 against Pizza Roll Man again. We can't be the only people online. Y'all seeing this, right? This hand is fine. We're going to keep it on the play. It's unexciting, but it's fine. Seal on Primal into Snowcrest Yeti, you know, as Direwolf Digital intended, because Yetis are awesome. Yep, they are still on Means to an End, which is just fine. We will attack and give them the satisfaction of getting a 2/2 flyer. We'll play our Fire Sigil, and I think we're fine just going to go ahead and rock sliding this now. It's not the best, but we know what's going to happen if they kind of get out of control. No follow-up from our opponent is good news for us. Seat, attack, assembly line, and now we need to draw gas and not power cards. We have 5 of our 25, so there's 20 more in here. Yep, here it is. Confirmation. Means to an End. In case you didn't know, it says Life Force. When you gain life, discard that many cards from the top of your deck. And then if you have no cards in your deck, sacrifice Means to an End to deal 25 to the enemy player. So with those lifesteal timers we saw in game number 3, it's going to combo off and then they'll deal 25 to us. It's a whole thing. Since we drew champion, we're going to play champion. We're going to A plus space to deal, 9 damage to our opponent. Play a Diplomatic Seal and say go. I think we have them pretty close to dead. We'll see. Well, we will A plus space again. We drew a power card, which we asked not to draw, but we drew anyways. We're still going to play it and say go. Oh, they didn't think they had it in me. How kind, opponent. I don't know how they can come back from this. Oh, they're going to Grasping at Shadows back the 2/2 or the 0/2. Yeah. That still does not save them, unfortunately. So, chalk one up in the win column for us. Now going 2-1 against Stone Scar Means. You know what? Let's do a round 7. Let's see what round 7 has for us. Here we are for lucky number 7 against Momek. Both of us are in Masters, as you can see, and this hand has 4 power, a 2-drop, a 3-drop, and a removal spell. But I think we can do better, so we're going to send it back. This hand was not better. I wanted better. This is not better. Opponent's on the play with their premium Roland avatar. We drew a 1-drop though. That's a good start. We'll play Seat into Grenadin Drone and say go. Hopefully we can survive long enough. They are on some sort of Argenport list. We'll play Seat of Fury and just go ahead and A plus space and say go. The new emote or the new avatars look sweet. So they played Seal into Banner and Nothings. I'm okay with this. They could have an Annihilate in hand. If they're playing Shadow, they're probably playing an Annihilate. Let's go ahead and just play Sensari Brigand and A plus space. Nothing. What's in your hand, opponent? Do they just have a really slow hand? All right. Impending Doom. All right. Impending Doom's a good card. 4 power, 5/5 flyer that deals 1 damage to you every turn. We don't have a good removal for it, unfortunately. We're going to play our Cobalt Monument, and I think we're just going to play Vadius out and say go. I'm not inclined to deal 2 damage to them for them to eat our Sensari Brigand. Auric Runehammer, good card here. They're going to go ahead and eat our Vadius, which is not what we wanted, but that's unfortunate. And they don't even take damage from their Impending Doom? Man, sometimes people have all the luck. We're going to play our Primal Sigil, and I think we're going to actually play our Storm Dancer here because we can use Pummel to get our Storm Dancer over the Impending Doom on our turn. They can also just use their Auric Runehammer to kill the Storm Dancer, which I'm fine with. Hopefully they don't have something like a Slay. Uh-oh. They have exactly the card that I was worried about. Oh well. Alright, so we get to trade our Brigand for their Runehammer. That's good for us. We'll play Sigil into Oni Ronin. And I could play Shogun Scepter to push through more damage. Well, let's just say go. I'd rather play Scepter in a turn where we have more units. Oh, Makto. All right, I'm not sure how we're winning now. They have they have 2 5/5 flyers, one of which is going to continuously come back unless we find a good answer for it, which we may not find. All right, so we're going to put Scepter on Grenadin Drone. Then we're going to A plus space. And let's see how they block with Makto. All right, they're going to block the Grenadin Drone, so we get to trade Pummel for Pummel, Grenadin Drone, and Scepter for Makto. Seal is not what we want to find, so we're going to send that away, and then we're going to let the damage all happen. Of course, they're going to get Makto back because he has Revenge, and we're going to say go. They didn't draw Makto. That's good. So what are they following up on? Slay. Good, good. Good card. We're going to let it happen. And then, they have double Slay. I mean, that's fine, I suppose. I'm glad they've used most of their Slays. We will, of course, take 5. So they're at 7. And what do we draw? Draw Pyro Knight. Pyro Knight's a good draw for us. Well, we're not going to be blocking with this with this measly Grenadin. We're going to play Pyro Knight and say go, leaving up Torch. Also, we get to Ultimate Pyro Knight in our turn, which could be pretty good, unless they have another Slay. Oh, they have Bloodletter? That's not good for us. And Vanquish? Oh, no. Well, this game just went from potentially winnable to unwinnable, because not only do they gain 8, we need an answer for an 8/8 flying lifesteal, which our only answer is Permafrost, so 1 time. This is not Permafrost. Well, we will attack, we will fight, we'll play Pyro Knight, and we'll say go, but this game has All She Wrote written all over it, and it's a shame sometimes when, they're just going to play a Gem Blade on it as well, of course. I'm not sure what they're worried about from our deck, but, yeah. Well, sometimes that's how the cookie crumbles.